Yo, what is up, guys? I'm going to be going over UFC Fight Night, Bautista, Oliveira. It just wrapped up. My immediate reactions. Let's get into it. Main event, bro. Mario Bautista, masterclass. Literally dominated. This was crazy. The ability of, Mario Bautista's wrestling was just insane. He was getting these trips, he was getting these throws. Everything was just insane. He had a reversal in there and really didn't use much striking. He just was really confident in his abilities in that, and he used it to the best level. And really, really good performance. I feel like Bautista's evolving and he could hang up there with the top guys for sure. Great call out as well. Calling out Corey Sandhagen is great. And I really think he could win that fight. He can win that fight. I feel like, he has a lot more aggression. Very well rounded. He's one of the most even though everybody at the top of this division, for the most part, is very well rounded, he's a guy that's, coming up and really showing himself. Like, I feel like his fight against Umar, was a little too soon. And I feel like, that was too much for him at that time. Obviously, now I feel I still feel like he would lose that very decisively, but the wrestling showed big improvements. His wrestling base really showed in this. Oliveira was even tired at the end of round one, and that really showed going into round two. He was able to just control him. Even when Oliveira had a glimpse of having a good takedown and finding something, Bautista reversed it instantly. It was just amazing. Didn't let the butterfly hooks of Oliveira do anything. And yeah, man, like, he didn't have to use the striking at all. No striking at all. It was just clinch work and straight takedowns. I really believe, you put him up against a guy like Song Yadong, and I feel like he wins that. I feel like he controls, the game better. And, Song Yadong might be a little bit more explosive and stronger in some positions, but I feel, Bautista's striking is always evolving. He has good technique, and it's just going to continue to get better and better. And, bro, I'm just gonna say this now. I'm a Mario Bautista fan now, bro. I'm not gonna lie. We're on the bandwagon, bro. He might go on the channel banner, bro. He's he's not getting the belt. I'm not gonna lie. But he's not this division is way too good. Bro, I feel like obviously this is more of an instance of Vinicius Oliveira being lower level than people think, rather than Bautista being higher level than people think. But I feel like, this really went to show, like, I thought he was going to do very, very well, and I thought he was going to dominate. I felt like the odds were insane. Like, if you were, like, behind on rent or some shit and you needed to make some money, I would have been like, yo, bet on Bautista, like, guarantee him to win. That shit is crazy to me, how he was only minus 190 favored, and I think it was even closer at some parts. But, bro, like, this is insane to me. Bautista is, I really do, obviously that Aldo fight was trash, bro. We're gonna slime him out for that, but we'll let it slide just for this time. He did slime out Oliveira. Like, bro, Oliveira, he was doing too much, bro. Sometimes we need some aura in the UFC. We need some fighters who are gonna show out a little bit and have some fun. But, bro, Oliveira was trying to be like low key the second coming of Gene Silver, bro. Like, I was seeing some little glimpses of that. He was looking at me too deeply when he was doing his shadow boxing into the camera before the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like wrong vibes for me. Bautista, I actually like it. He tries to be himself. He's a tryhard, bro. He really does try to put on this hard-nosed front. Like, he really wants to show people he's in the game for this. And I do like that, because a lot of people, don't try to go for that. They don't try to, come for everybody's neck and really, like, I like that call out. That call out is amazing. Corey Sandhagen, the rematch, he got choked out by him in his debut, and now I really do think he could get this win against him, and book it on the White House, whatever it is. I feel like it would be a great fight. I even think, bro, I don't know if that's a hot take for me to say, but I really do believe that Bautista would be able to beat, like, a guy like O'Malley or something like that. Like, I feel like Song Yadong had a really close fight with. I feel like over 5 rounds, I think Bautista would win against O'Malley. I feel like, he really is well rounded. I feel like O'Malley's one of those guys at the top where he's not, and I feel like he would struggle a little bit, bro. That's the truth to say, bro. Please don't be mad, guys. I'm just saying the truth and nothing but the truth. Really look into it. It's going to be interesting to see Bautista fight these top guys. I feel like Umar was a little bit too much. I feel like Umar's style negates everything Bautista could do. He's a little too high level at everything. And, Bautista doesn't like to make it too much of a brawl. He kind of, grinds you out with different wrestling positions and, will find different strikes and mix it up with, high and low and using punches and kicks very well. He's just a mixed martial artist, bro. A lot of these guys don't take the same approach, and a lot of them should, bro. This is a great style of fighting, just really mixing it truthfully, and I love to see it. Bro, I love to see it, bro. I can't lie. I know that's hard to say. Like, Bautista had a bad rep, but, bro, fuck Oliveira, bro. Fuck Oliveira. Yo, like, no technique, no gas tank, bro. He needs to look to, like, maybe move up or something like that. I don't think he's going to be able to compete with any of these guys in the top 10 at all. Just being that he doesn't have the skills for it, doesn't have the speed for it, doesn't have the gas tank for it. He just showed a level behind. I feel like he'd do a little bit better at 145, but I don't think he's going to ever, reach the top 5 in any division unless he really takes a different approach to his training and tries to be more technical. I feel like if he puts it together a little bit, he could find some good wins in some divisions. Like, I would like to see him against some of the guys at 145, but that weight cut is too much, not technical enough. And yeah, bro, stop trying to aura farm, bro. No aura farming, bro. Come on. We left that in 2025, bro. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So great fight by Bautista. I was super impressed. On to the next one. Amir Albazi versus Horiguchi. The gooch is loose, bro. The gooch is loose, bro. Horiguchi with the great win. I was a tiny bit concerned in the first round, and I thought he got dropped for a second, but I think he just slipped and did some like ninja shit. Like, he just fully like backflipped out of that. And it was great to see, his style is so entertaining. He is the quickest guy in maybe like, he has to be a top 10 quickest guy in UFC history. Like, he is so quick. It's insane. Like, I got to watch some film back in like 2015 to see if he was that quick, because I really don't remember him being that quick. Because I feel like he's quicker now that he's like 35, 36 than when he was younger. And, it's really crazy to see him just, being able to fight this high level at this age in this division. Because everybody, that gets up to this age really shows some downfall in their skill and in their athleticism. But I feel like Horiguchi, doesn't show that. I really want to see Horiguchi versus Brandon Royval. I don't think, I feel like there's a little bit of, a holdup at the top with this division. And, being that, you have Pantoja out and Van just won the title, Tyra's right there for the title, and, Manel Kape is right there for the title. You can't give it to Horiguchi. You can't give a shot to him, but put him in there against Royval, or, I don't want to see him versus Tattoo with Tyra, bro. That's two Japanese guys. Nah, we can't do that. I think, bro, tell me not. Him and Manel Kape might be the most like athletic, quick matchup. Like, you're gonna need to slow that shit down to really watch it. Like, I would want to see. I feel like Kape kind of neutralizes Horiguchi's game plans because he has so much power, and I feel like he can catch him. Like, Horiguchi definitely shows some, weaknesses. I feel like when he gets pressured and he could get put against the cage, but it would be really interesting to see him, fight those top guys of really the new guard when. He hasn't fought those guys, and it would be super interesting. I really would want to see it, but yeah, I'm going to make a video on who he should fight and really think about it and let you guys know, but great performance, bro. Leg kicks early on, and then after he realized he could just, use the boxing and really just find some good lead left hooks, and that was the path to victory. Lead left hooks. He was landing them all day. He landed this one on top of Amir Albazi's top of the forehead, bro. Top of the freaking forehead. Knocked the equilibrium off. And Albazi was doing the chicken dance, bro. He was doing the Robert Whittaker chicken dance, bro. And I thought it was finished at that point, but he was able to come back and not get finished, but he threw nothing. He landed 16 significant strikes, bro. Your time has come. You're cooked. Respect to Amir Albazi for everything he's gone through and like coming back out there and really, after all the surgeries and the injuries, but your time has come, bro. You're cooked. Get the fuck out of the UFC. We don't want to see you anymore. You're a little boring, bro. Respect to the, the grit and everything. Put on a good showing of heart in this and didn't really give up or, make it a slop fest. He didn't go for the clinch wrestling too much. Went for it a little bit in the third round, but hey, man, the gooch is loose, man. We are too good. We are gonna fight for a number one contender spot. I just don't know who would be against. Like, I feel like I don't want to see him against Manel Cop because he would get slimed out, I'm pretty sure, bro. And, Tatsuya Taira, I feel like Tatsuya Taira can win in the grappling. I feel like Tatsuya Taira is way too big for him and way too strong. Like, Tatsuya Taira is, like, going to make him look really small. And Tatsuya Taira has the strongest grappling in this division. And then I feel as if, Royval would even be a really, really tough fight for him. Like, the gooch is going to have to move, bro. The gooch, he's going to have to move around the cage crazy to even win this against Royval. I feel like if you put him against him. But whatever it is, I'm really just hyped to see it, bro, at this age and his quickness. And I was right. I don't know why it displayed on the website his reach is 69 inches, but his reach really is 63, which is, it has to be up there for some of the shortest ever, which is insane to me. And he's so good. But gooch is loose. We're back. Great performance. I'm happy to see it. Whoever he fights next, I'm going to tune in, make a video about it. Love this guy. Bro, Jailton Almeida has been watching Vinland Saga, bro. He has no enemies, bro. I don't know what was going on in this, but, Rizvan Kuniev was landing great strikes in some moments, but he would choose to go for the clinch way too much. I feel like, even if he wasn't throwing strikes and he was backing up Jailton Almeida, he would be fine. He did not have to go for, clinch and everything like that and make it a little bit more boring. And Almeida did terrible. He couldn't get one singular takedown. Didn't have any good, chain wrestling. He had one moment, I think, where he went for 2 takedowns at a time. But other than that, it was just singular shots, no setup behind it. No counter wrestling, no level changes when Kuniev was going in for a blitz. Nothing like that. It was just terrible to see, and really disappointed in Jailton Almeida. He sold all our parlays, bro. Nah, like, deadass. How are you gonna fight like this, especially as the favorite, bro? Like, you need to go out there and have some, he had finishing acumen early in his career. I don't know what happened to him, bro, but he doesn't go for finishes at all anymore, and it's tough, bro. I know Kuniev is good. Like, don't get me wrong. Very underrated wrestling and great striking, honestly. I feel like he has some of the most dangerous hands at this, like, top of the division now. But it's no excuse, bro. Like, that was a terrible performance by Jailton Almeida. He has pillow-fisted hands at heavyweight. I don't know if you guys seen the shots that he was landing. He landed some great shots in round 3. And it really didn't make a difference. He just got outclassed. But it was boring as fuck. It was boring as fuck by Kuniev. He just held him against the cage, landed some knees in the clinch, landed some elbows and shit like that, some uppercuts. But other than that, Kuniev was just, he got separated in the clinch multiple times, which is never a good sign. And, you just don't want to see it, bro. You just don't want to, especially Jailton Almeida, bro. With this build, bro, you got to have some better conditioning. Like, you got to put it out there. Like, I thought there was going to be a time in round 3 where he was going to be able to put some shots together. And he did land a good, like, 1-2 here and there and kind of stumbled Kuniev, like, for a second. And it really didn't have him too hurt. But it was just crazy to see him, give up like that almost. Like, it was almost like he gave up. And, trash, bro. You're trash. You're trash. You have no enemies, bro. Like, why are you fighting like this? He sold my pick so bad. Like, you can't get not even one takedown, like, a round, or one takedown in 2 rounds to get, like, a 29-28 smudge decision heavyweight. Like, bro, the one time we have heavyweights that are not 265 fighting, they still fight like shit. And what I was going to say before is, like, yo, how are you going to think about sliming out the fucking flyweight division not even a few years ago, and you have no, like, regard for how the heavyweight division is going? Like, why are we acting like the heavyweight division has been good for the longest? Like, it's been trash. This is a top 5 fight, bro. Almeida's technically supposed to be top 5 because he got robbed, and Kuniev's supposed to be top 5 as well because he got robbed as well. So, when you're making this fight, it's like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we need to get better talent. We need Gable Stevenson save us, please. Please, Gable Stevenson, save us, bro, on the White House card. Please give it, bro. We might just have to give him a top 15 opponent right as he gets in. I feel like he could beat these guys. He's more athletic. He's a better wrestler. Anything will help because flyweight is amazing now, especially with Horiguchi and the changing the guard now, and we have a lot of these top guys like Van Tyra. These guys are the flyweight division is 20 times better than the heavyweight, bro. Fuck Dana White for saying that. Messing with my flyweights, bro. That's my division, bro. I'm gonna be fighting in there, bro. Come on. Are you serious right now? But that's all I gotta say, man. Fuck this fight. Fuck Jelton Almeida, bro. You're not Thorfinn. Michael Oleksiejczuk versus Marc-Andre Barriault. This was a great fight, bro. Fight in the night scrap. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are really putting it out there. There probably could have been another few fights that were fighting the night, but Marc-Andre Barriault was lacking technically, and he was able to make it a little bit of a dogfight in the beginning of the third and the second round. He won the second round decisively, and really just neither guy was too impressive, but I just think you can't complain about it. Good scrap, and Michael Oleksiejczuk was able to land his 1-2, land the straights, and find some. He was kind of flowing for a little bit, especially at the beginning of round 2. He was kind of finding a rhythm, but I feel like Marc-Andre Barriault's plan was to kind of let him find a rhythm and disrupt it right away in the second round. And he did that, landed some great elbows in the clinch, bloodied up Michael Oleksiejczuk, and landed some other good shots, knees, and things like that, and was able to just really collar tie and find some great things up the middle, but it wasn't enough. Oleksiejczuk was able to really grit down on the mouthpiece. And, bro, this was nearly a crafty vet performance, bro. This is nearly the craftiest performance by Marc-Andre Barriault. But, Oleksiejczuk's striking is a little too good for him. And, it's crazy. Like I said, bro, Marc-Andre Barriault, he gets too comfortable with being behind the black lines, and he really struggles against there. When you get him there, he's cooked, bro. He's cooked. And it showed, can't be too disappointed because what do you expect? Like, I feel like Oleksiejczuk was like a minus 500 favorite. And, it was closer. It was closer than I expected. Oleksiejczuk was gassed at the end, but he really put it all out there, landed some great shots in the end of the third round, and sealed the deal. Easily took the first. It looked like he was on his way to a finish at some point, and then, obviously, a second round happened. But great fight, can't complain. Oleksiejczuk, you can give him a top 15 guy, just barely in there, 13 to 15 maybe, and see how it goes for him. He's not a bad fighter. He lacks in the grappling, and I think he lacks in some departments, even in the striking, and can't mix together the kicks well with the punches and things like that, and kind of struggles with pressure and a dogfight. But other than that, he's a pretty decent pressure fighter with his straight shots, and I'm excited to see him fight again. On to the next one, Gene Matsumoto versus Farid Basharat. Great scrap. This was a lot of clinch work in here, but nevertheless, great fight. Gene Matsumoto got cut really early on, and it hurt him, but I think that's kind of what lost him this fight. And these boys were throwing a little bit when it was on the feet, but for the most part, clinch work, and can't complain. Two young guys. Basharat was able to grit it out. It had a little less damage on him, and not much to say, bro. Blockhead wins. Why do these guys opposite? Like, bro, why does Basharat have the smallest body and the biggest head, and Matsumoto has the biggest body and the smallest head? Tell me not. Matsumoto looks like his body's like 30 years old, and then his face looks like he's maybe 14. It might be the weirdest. I don't know if I'm bugging out, but just take the bottom. I don't know. Yo, but Basharat, bro, Roblox, blockhead. This is like the default shit you get when you just load up the game, bro. Goated. Right there. Split decision win. Crafty Basharat decision, bro. What can I say? Hey, man, on to the next. Dustin Jacoby was able to pull it out. I'm impressed, bro. I'm impressed. I was not expecting him to do it at this age, and he found the knockout, and it was brutal. But, hey, man, your time has come, Julius Walker. You're cooked, bro. You're cooked. You got to retire, bro. Not playing. But Daniel Doncheco versus Alex Moreno. I don't know why I picked Alex Moreno, bro. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna make better picks on the prelims, bro. I'm telling you, I will not sell again. That was a bad pick by me. I'm gonna do more film. I'm gonna do crazy film work. We have a week off. I'm gonna make a lot of videos during this week off, and I'm gonna do a lot of film work, bro. I'm locking in. I promise, bro. I'm selling. So, Doncheco was able to, win, and there's not much to say, bro. I made a bad pick. I mean, Alex Moreno's out of the UFC for sure. There's no way he's still in this shit, bro. There's no way he's still in this shit. Nico Price got cooked. I don't even want to talk about this shit. We're not talking about this. He got slimed up against the cage. You know, he was just standing there. He was like, bro, defend yourself, defend yourself. And he was just standing there, got fucking knocked out on the feet. He didn't even get knocked down. He just got knocked out on the feet. But, hey, bro, we're not even talking about Bruno Brazil. Basharat, you know, he got dropped badly, and this was scary for him, but you know, he was able to come back and win this. But hey, man, good win. The Joker, W win by the Joker. She was looking crazy at the end of round 3, and you know, was able to really find some damage in that groundwork, and I was impressed. First round she won, and you know, not much to say, bro. The Joker won. She looked kind of crazy. Yo, this guy Jacob Wilscast, bro, slime it, bro. Does this not look like the Grinch, bro? I'm telling you, bro. What is going on with him? Last second submission, bro. Thank you, bro. Muin, I don't even know how to say it. Gafarov, that shit, yo, get him out of the UFC, bro. He got slimed out. Thank you so much. He missed weight, and bro, with this picture, bro, you gotta get out. Like, you cannot be looking like this. And bro, there's children around, bro. There's children. I don't know. He had hella hair on his back. Like, get out of the UFC, bro. We do not need this shit to start off the Paramount fucking era, bro. Get him out. You know, great win, bro. Slimed out the freaking the weight cutter. But yo, great fight card. I'm going to make a, you know, matchups to make after this fight card. You know, won't be too in depth because I feel like there wasn't a lot of great fighters on this card, but it was a fun, entertaining card. You know, you can't complain. It was in the Apex, bro, the Meta Apex. I don't know if you guys have heard. It's now the Meta Apex. It's gonna make a big difference. But hey, man, that was the you know, not the breakdown on it, the recap on it, and I really enjoyed watching this. I hope you guys did too. Hope you guys tune in for more. I will see you guys next time. Peace.